Why so a long time from the previous album you did?
It's an English word called dilly-dallying. And
Laziness.
yeah, just a lot of things to sort out. You know, it just took longer than we thought. And like, we didn't see the importance of, like, you know, like, follow-up albums don't exist. It's the next album to us, you know, so there's no time limit.
Yeah, I mean, basically we're self-employed and it's our decision, you know. I never ask people why, you know, why they took so long to write an article for a newspaper, you know. We're self-employed, and that's the good thing about it. We can make decisions and not really have to make excuses for why we do things.
Yeah,
That's why we do it, I think, so that we don't have to. I don't think we have to answer why.
yeah. I think it's a commercial thing if you get an album out fast, one after the other, you know. And like with us, it's like, I mean, it's everything. It's like our lives are like on our album, and like it would take a bit of time over our lives then.
Yeah, I mean, the album, any good music should be, some part of you should come out in that. And if people expect it to happen every year at exactly the right time, you know, you write 10 songs that are about you, you know, they're stupid. The fact that it took 2.5 years since the previous one, it's not that long a time to wait if what you're getting is a bit of your life back, you know. I don't know.
True.
So what does it mean? It's okay. So what does it mean, this last album in Eco and the Bunnymen career?
I think I really like the game, because that was kind of says that this is what we do and this is what I am, and don't expect anything. It was the game I thought was one of the best things we've ever written, and for me lyrically one of the best things I've written, just because it says, like, I don't really care about what you think. Mainly to criticism, you know, and people who tell you what's good for you and where you're going wrong and where you're going right. It was saying to them, I'm not even going to listen anymore. And that, I thought, was that's what I like about. It's not about the whole album, but there is a kind of definite thing which says, stop trying to tell me what to do, you know. And it's directed at the music business, and journalists and fans as well. You know, it's stopped telling us what to do.
Yeah, and also like, it's like our LPs. We listened to them the other night, and they're like books, which we remember things by, and like
Like a diary,
yeah.
the whole thing.
And like I haven't listened to the new album that much, although like we played the songs. Obviously, it wasn't that long ago since we recorded it, but you need time to build up like a retrospect picture of it, which we will do soon.
Because we listened to the first 4 albums on the coach, as we say, and Porcupine I haven't played probably since '83 when it came out, and I heard it and it was, there's bits that I don't like, but I had this impression in my head that I didn't really like it, but loads of memories came back and it sounded great, I thought. So with this, the latest album, that'll probably happen, you know, a year from now. Although I think it's the least introspective and least maybe challenging musically, I don't know.
Yeah.
So maybe it won't happen. But I like it because it's quite straightforward. After, you know, each album's been different, and that's a...
I'll back that up.
Do Echo and the Bunnymen feel at home in 1987 English musical scene?
Well, it's kind of strange. I mean, it's like one of the funniest or weirdest jobs you could do. Like, you don't know what you're going to do next, you know. It's like the only thing you can do is write music the way you feel at the time, and sometimes the inventiveness is not available to like write that. So your mind just is going like a ball bouncing off walls, you know. You're trying to find like an alleyway you can go down. So it's hard to say whether we're like in with 87 music.
That's the thing
we must
about...
be.
Well, I don't know, it's hard to tell. It's that thing about you do what you do, and 1 minute somebody says it's totally right for the time. Like in 80 or 81 we were totally right. Up till 83 we were like the hip group in England, and then suddenly they decided we were too old or we'd been doing it too long. And the reason it is a hard job is because the only gauge you can have of how well you're doing your job is maybe reviews in papers, audience response, which is the only real one anyway, and then record sales. People will say if you, and it shifts all the time, so it's like
it's uncertain who's right, you know, whose opinion is like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if you work in a factory and you'd have to build a car in, you know, however many weeks or days, you know where the guidelines are.
You know where your part goes in, and at first it's like hard to time it, but you get used to it and you've got time to do it then. It's like that. It's hard to like draw a definite line where you are. So.
It's also hard to keep being, to not get scared about it, because it's so subjective, all the criticism you can get. And when people say you're fantastic, you believe that. And then when they say you crap, you can believe that as well, and it does your head in, you know. But having said that, it's the best job, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's weird.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
When you first appeared, you were labeled as one of the most known psychedelic group in the Liverpool scene. How did you feel being labeled that way, and how do you feel today?
Well, it's funny playing the records the other day. When people said we were psychedelic, we'd say, "No, we're postmodernist," and then they'd start saying we were postmodernist, and we'd say, "No, we're wacky and weird." And bleak, and every time they said one thing, we'd say another. And then when they started saying psychedelic, I just said, "We're just a rock band, like pure and simple." And I think the main reason was that there was a song on the first album called Villiers Terrace, which everybody assumed was a drug song. Sounded like it was about acid or something. And we never did any of that. It was a song about politics. And because the press picked up on this one song and stupidly assumed that because it sounded like one thing, possibly it had to mean that. And I used to just say, we're not psychedelic at all, you know. Our minds don't expand when we drink beer, you know.
Mine does.
My bladder does. But, so, I used to deny it, but listening the other day, a lot of it was psychedelic.
Yeah. But
this new one's the least psychedelic, but Porcupine was very psychedelic.
Yeah.
And Heaven Up Here.
But,
so we were, yeah.
But it's weird nowadays, like, people don't compare things like that anymore. Like, how would you categorise Tapao? Something like that.
Crap.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's weird because people don't pigeonhole you that often now. This is a new craze out.
But by the way, can you name any group, any singer that could have been influenced, Echo and the Bunnymen, at the beginning?
Well,
Who
definitely.
influenced us? Definitely Bowie.
Yeah.
And the Velvet Underground.
Jim.
The Doors later on, I think.
You see, that was the weird thing. We kept on being compared to the Doors, but it was only Will who liked them, and he played in like a velvety style anyway. And like we didn't, sort of like latch onto the Doors until later, because there's that big post-punk thing of like hating anything that was in the, the 60s or early 70s. But
yeah, Bowie.
and Lou Reed.
Lou Reed. Jacques Brel, I like the way he sings and that. Leonard Cohen, definitely, lyrically.
Scott Walker a bit.